Take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Allie, as Courtney said, and I am very excited to show you the newest addition to the Visible Body product suite. We are calling it Visible Biology, and I will share my screen and we can get started. So this is the homepage of Visible Biology. You'll see here that each topic has its own row. And within the rows are different types of learning assets. In those learning assets, we have our classic 3D models, we have animations, and we have brand new 3D interactive simulations. It's a mouthful, but I'm very excited to show you. And we can dive right into the genetics unit. So here in this model, we have 4 levels of information, if you will. We have our DNA double helix, and then we have the DNA coiling around a cluster of histones into chromatin and into the chromosome. So as an instructor, you can teach this one of 2 ways. You can start at the DNA double helix level and show the coiling and supercoiling, or you can start at the chromosome level and show the unwinding of the DNA into the double helix. And while we're here, I'll point out our content box. So in the content box, you'll see this little info button, and the info button will give you a detailed overview of what is being shown in the 3D model. And as with all of Visible Body's 3D models, you can click on any part of the structure to get identification and a definition, as well as a pronunciation. So we will be visiting that content box quite a bit. And let's say we want to focus on the DNA double helix and take this to the next level and view the molecular level of DNA. So this model here, if you scroll up to the top, you'll see the classic DNA double helix. And if we zoom in a little bit, you can get really detailed with these models, which is incredible. You'll see the complementary base pairs and the hydrogen bonds. And again, you can come in and get detailed information on any set of base pairs and the hydrogen bonds as well. Now, if we progress even further down this model, you'll be able to see the atoms of each base pair. Oops, sorry about that. The atoms of each base pair. I'll keep zooming out a little bit. And then you can click on each atom and access detailed information here as well. I'll zoom out a little bit more. Get a better angle on that. Now, if instructors have told us frequently that it's hard to convey to students, how tightly packed DNA is in the chromosome. So that is where the interactive simulations come in. And here we have our DNA coiling around a cluster of histones. Students can always play and pause. They can click on any element of the model and get your definition here, and then they can watch the coiling and uncoiling. And then from here, again, taking it to the next level, we can view the string of nucleosomes getting more and more condensed, and then eventually being so condensed that the string of nucleosomes coils into chromatin. And as we're putting these different parts together, we can always revisit that initial model with the DNA coiling into chromatin, into the chromosome to see how the pieces fit together. And if we go back out into the main menu, we can dive into another unit. And I'll show you kind of from the bird's eye perspective how this progresses. It starts with the interactive simulation of photosynthesis. And again, with these models, you can be very granular. So you'll see the inputs of photosynthesis. And if students don't know the inputs, they can play and pause. You can scrub backwards and you can select the molecules to find out exactly what they are. Okay, so I know sun rays coming in, carbon dioxide coming in, and then we'll see the water molecules coming up, and you'll view the outputs. So we'll see oxygen coming out and glucose creating a new leaf on our plant. And the other thing that's really cool is you can zoom in nice and close, and we can actually identify some of the structures that play a key role in photosynthesis. We can come get our identification here of any of these structures, and you can play and pause and actually get really up and close while the photosynthesis is happening in the 3D simulation. Now, from this view, maybe we want to look at a section of the leaf. In our related content, we can click on a leaf section, or we can then come in and study each layer of the leaf and its role in photosynthesis. And the information button here, of course, will be outlining the model as a whole. I'm going to go back out to the main menu. So if we're viewing the leaf section, we can get even smaller and view the cellular level. So in the plant cell model, we have the ability to hide and fade, some structures. So we can view the cell wall and dissect. And same thing, cytosol, we can come in and study the cell structures. Now, if we're focusing on the chloroplast still, I can actually hide away the outer membrane, hide away the inner membrane, and now I can view the granums inside of the chloroplast, which is pretty cool. And from this, to put this all in context, we actually have a 3D simulation that shows photosynthesis happening inside the chloroplast, which I can show you next. So over here in related content, we can view this simulation model where you'll see your inputs and outputs of photosynthesis. And these are still fully selectable, so you can come in and study the various structures that comprise the chloroplasts. While we are finishing up going through those two units, are there any questions in the chat so far before we get into some of the functionality type things in the application? Let's see. It doesn't look like there are any questions.
No, but I do want to let everybody know that I think Zoom is making the video a little bit choppy. The actual app itself is incredibly smooth and fluid, so don't worry about that. I think it's just Zoom being Zoom. But we actually do have a question from Debbie Johnson. Are any of the pictures labeled?
That is a great question, and it's a great segue into the next part here. And I apologize if it's skippy. I didn't realize it on my end. I'll move a little bit slower. So as far as labeling structures, you can take any one of our 3D models and you can add structure tags. The reason I'm going to my library here is to show you that I have created some labeled 3D models and saved them. So in my studying, I have added these structure tags. I've added arrows representing inputs and outputs of photosynthesis, and I've added detail notes about this model that I've saved. So from any of our models, you can take the plant cell, for example. You can click on any structure, and in our content box, you can view add tag, and you can add your tags to the model. So just select the structure you want to add a label to, and then add a tag, and you can save it as a view. In saving these views, they can be shared between students for study materials, and they can be shared between students and instructors as a part of an assignment. And they can also be shared, saved by you as an instructor to refer back to in lecture. They can also be strung together. So I can save a series of 3 views, put them together into a 3D presentation, if you will, and submit that as my assignment or use that as my lecture slides. The next destination will be the study tab. So in the study tab, we've got a few subtopics, and we can start first with the lab activities. So our lab activities correlate with each one of these 3D models. It's very easy to get to the lab activities just by clicking Get Labs. And this is going to take you to Visible Body's website, where you can access a lesson plan for the lab, and you can also download the lab activity. The lab activities, students can type their answers directly into, and they follow a similar structure, meaning that they start with structure identification, and as the lab activity progresses, they have students creating, making connections and comparisons. And quizzes. So the quizzing environment with Visible Body's product is very unique in that the models are fully live and interactive. So I'm going to be given a prompt over here, and I may have to dissect layers of the model in front of me to find the correct answer. The other thing that's unique is that these are automatically graded. We are viewing a practice quiz right now, so I can use this as a student to test my knowledge. So if I'm looking to select a ribosome, I'm going to zoom in, and I think it is the little teensy tiny dots right here. We can get even more granular too if we want to get up nice and close. I'm going to select a little tiny dot. Oops, there's the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And I'm going to submit my answer. And we got that right. Now, if I get an answer wrong, and I actually don't know the answer to this one, this is always where I'm discovered that I am not a biologist. So in this quiz here, I can select maybe the wrong answer. And when I press submit, it's going to ask me if I want to try again, or ask me if I want to see the correct answer. So I'm going to choose see the correct answer, and I can see that the answer is highlighted right here, here, and here. And we'll go back out into this study tab for a moment. And now we'll visit flashcards. So flashcards are new to Visible Body as well. I'll show you a flashcard deck first. So this is the finished product. And basically it allows students to study the 3D models in flashcard form, and they can review the cards they missed, give a time limit, and put them in a specific order if they'd like. I'm going to go ahead and press start. And I'm just doing basic structure identification here. Here's my first label. I think that this might be the Golgi complex. I'll flip it over. We got it. Now, as a student, I can say I mastered this card. And maybe if I don't remember this card particularly, we can check my answer by flipping the card. And I'm going to label this one as I need to revisit it. Now, one thing that's cool is you'll see in this flashcard, it is a static 2D image. So right now I can't move the model, but very easily, if I need to do some more studying or get some more detailed information, I can click on this Explore in 3D button. When I click Explore in 3D, it brings me back to the place that I can get detailed information on the highlighted structure. So I know I'm studying the cytosol right now. I can get my detailed information. And when I feel like I've done enough studying on that, I can return to my flashcard and I can say, yes, okay, we got that. Now, the next stop, I will show you how easy it is to create a flashcard. You create individual flashcards and they show up here, and then you string them together into a flashcard deck. So let me show you. We'll stick with the plant cell. You start in your units. I'm going to click on the plant cell model, And let's say we want to label the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So I've just got my model in front of me, and all you have to do is click on this flashcard button. When I click flashcard, I can then position the model in a way that makes sense to me, and I can click start on front. So this is going to allow me to put that label on here. So when I click label, I'm going to drag my little pointer onto the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and then I can flip to the back. And you can use the auto label function here. Students can absolutely type in the answers themselves, but you can also use automatically labeling to speed up the process of making flashcards, or if students haven't quite mastered the content yet. I can also add some arrows just to make sure I know exactly what I'm pointing to. You can add some detailed notes about the rough ER. And then we can save our flashcard. So I'm going to say this is medium difficulty for me. And we're going to call it rough ER. I'm going to add it to my existing deck. Press save. And then, do you want to add it to your plant cell? Yes. Save again. And there is my flashcard. So here's the front with just my label. And the back, here is the answer to my label, my notes, and any arrows that are helpful for me to gain context. And I always have this Explore in 3D button available to me when I want to get back to interacting with the 3D models. Let's take a pause for more questions. Do you have any more questions in the chat?
So we had one that we answered in the chat, which was from, I apologize if I pronounce this wrong, Michael De Tomasis, which was, is the functionality we're showing the same for students and the teacher?
Yes.
And then a follow-up actually from Michael. So they could, for example, view this material at their own pace if that was required. It would not need to be assigned by the teacher for them to look at any of these models.
That is correct. So right now, we have visible biology available for you to view as the models themselves, and assignability through our courseware platform will be coming sometime in January of 2022. And Debbie said, if the instructor makes flashcards, can we share it with the students? Yes, absolutely. So the new sharing across platforms is fantastic in that students can create flashcards and share them with you. You can create them and share them with students. The way that you do that is by clicking on the little 3 dots, share flashcard deck, and you're going to get a link. And the link you can post in your learning management system. You can send it in an email, however you like. Students then copy the link, and when they open up their version of visible biology, we'll say we open a brand new version here, and I want to add my instructor's flashcards. I just click on this little link in the bottom right here, and I can paste the link and click OK, and it's going to add the flashcards to my account. So here they are. And then if I want to save them from my instructor, I can do that. So just the key with that is when you're sending a link to students, they need to come to Visible Biology first, click on the link icon in the bottom right, and then paste the link.
Do we have any more questions before Allie continues? And feel free to, save your questions for, after the presentation when, we're just going to open up the floor. But if you have anything, that you are burning to know about right away, just pop it right into the chat.
We can actually open the floor now if you'd like. I wanted to go through genetics unit and energy unit and then my library and study tab. So if we want to open the floor and if there's any content in particular that you'd like to see more up close, we can absolutely do that. I can just walk through another unit.
Okay, so if anybody has any questions and would like to have a dialogue with Allie or with any of us on the panel, I guess, use the raise hand function and I will be able to unmute your microphone.
In the meantime, I can start walking through the blood cell unit.
Hold on, we have another question from Sarfraz. Are there tissue models?
So we have 3D tissue models built into our anatomy and physiology app. Are you talking about like epidermis, dermis, like a skin section, or more histology?
All right, hold on. I'm actually going to unmute his microphone. Does that work?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Courtney. Yeah, my reference was actually more towards the histological remodeling of the basic tissues like connective tissue or like bone, muscle tissue, something like that. Yeah, I'm very well with my highest gratitude to Matt. I have been able to peek into the models. Yes, and I saw those models because maybe I was thinking that now since you are focusing on individuality of the skins and the cells and the tissues, perhaps you guys have come up with the more models of the tissues around there.
For histology, we have, I believe, about 110 slides of histology built into one of our other applications titled Anatomy and Physiology. That would be the best place to access histology slides. And in anatomy and physiology, we also do have the 3D models of the like integumentary system skin sections. So both of those options live in the anatomy and physiology app. And when we are down the line creating a courseware product, I believe those models will be accessible with the biology content.
Thanks, Allie.
Sure. Thank you for your question. All right, we can walk through some.
Yeah, feel free to
all right,
to show something else. And again, if anybody has any questions that crop up, just give a little hand raise.
We will just do a little bit of a preview at our blood cell slides. So of course, we've got our ability to select the content and get identify detailed information, and we can hide the blood plasma and come in and get some detailed information on the red blood cells. Our related content is a fantastic tool as far as keeping the learning going in related topics. For the sake of showing you the progression of the units, I'm going to pop back out into the main menu in one moment once we take a look at the info section here, which covers an overview of the red blood cells and platelets. And in progressing through, we can then take a look at the white blood cells. So I'm again going to fade or hide my blood plasma so I can click on the individual blood cells. And again, we can get very, very granular with the content. So we can click on each individual structure. We can hide and fade and break down these already minuscule 3D models.
Allie, before you go on, we have a bunch of questions that came through. First one is from Wendy. Are these free resources or do they require a subscription?
They do require a subscription. So for students, if they would like to purchase access directly, it's $39.99. It's a year of access to our visible biology product, as well as the courseware platform when that's ready in January. And for institutional pricing, we would be able to connect you with your representative to talk through some license options.
Okay. We also have one from Quinn. How much of this is expanded into the pathophysiology section of the A&P app?
So in the A&P app, we do not have a pathophysiology section. The A&P app is a typical A&P 1 and 2 class organized by body system. It's all normal anatomy and physiology. You might be thinking of our physiology and pathology app, which does have, of course, some pathophysiology content. And with the overlap, I guess there might just be a couple of animations that are present because it's relevant to learning, in the physiology and pathology app, as well as in the biology app here. So for example, P&P or A&P, you may encounter some content on function of plasma as it relates to the cardiovascular system, as an example. I hope that answers the question.
Okay. We have a question from Jacob. Are the study, quizzes, and flashcard functions available with A&P also?
So in A&P, we absolutely have practice quizzes. We have the dissection quizzes where students are interacting with the 3D models, hiding, fading, dissecting to find their answer. And also included in A&P, there are multiple choice practice quizzes. The flashcard functionality right now is in our biology product and is also in Human Anatomy Atlas.
We have a question from Sarfraz. Is there a trial access for educators without a subscription?
So we do offer trials to our content. The 3D content is with subscription only. We are, of course, happy to set you up with your trial account, and you can test it out, and we can connect you with your representative to kind of help you in that testing it out process.
All right. From Jacob, are there plans to expand the pathophysiology content in the P&P app?
It's a great question. Our focus has been on bio and building Atlas and other functionalities with Atlas and bio. I can have your representative reach out to you, check on that, and reach out to you and get back to you with an answer on that. I'm not sure of the pathophysiology plans off the top of my head.
Okay, from Wendy, can you integrate these simulations and quizzes with our LMS, such as Canvas?
So with Visible Body courseware, we do have a Canvas integration. At the moment, we have a single sign-on integration where students can access all of Visible Body's materials within Canvas. And very soon, we have a deep integration coming where the assignments will sync and the gradebook will sync. So that is not released yet, but I believe that's coming very soon as well. And once the biology courseware product is ready, the answer is yes, you will be able to put it into Canvas and have that kind of be your home base, I guess.
Okay. I just lost my place. From Michael, will you be connecting the various apps so we can move more fluidly between the images?
So the answer to that would be courseware. So with courseware, you can pull different learning assets from the various apps, and you can put it into an organized sequence for your students to work through. So as assignment number 1, you can direct students to content in A and P. They can review the chapter. And then maybe assignment number 2, you direct students to content in Atlas, where they're investigating and they're searching for key structures. And it looks very streamlined for the student, and it allows you as the instructor to pull assets from all areas of Visible Bodies content.
So we have a issue from Tina about accessing animations in WebSuite, and for issues, Tina, I am actually going to send you a link where you can contact our support team, and they'll be able to help you through that. So hold on for that. And then this is from, sorry, the name has cut off. I think that's Roy Chan. Are animal 3D models like fish, frogs, cockroaches, etc., available in virtual dissection?
The answer to that short is not yet, but we do have some new biology models coming out, and I believe some animal anatomy and physiology will be coming along with that.
All right. Tina has her hand raised, so.
What's that?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, I'm the one that asked the question about the animations.
Yeah, I didn't know if you would had a follow-up to that. I am actually messaging you right now with the link. So you said that you're using WebSuite?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well,
so,
I've got your WebSuite thing with all of it, and then one of the options is the animation on the bottom. I can open up everything else, the Atlas and all the rest of the stuff, but when I get to the animations, it doesn't open.
Well, that's a no good. So I am going to, like I said, give you a link right now. This will put you in touch with our support team, and they'll be able to figure out what's going on, because that shouldn't be happening.
And did you see the other person on there said they had that same problem?
No, I think I missed that.
Quinn?
Yeah,
all right,
he said
you know what?
me
Well,
too.
then I am going to post it for everyone to see. So if anybody has issues accessing, models or animations, you're going to want to talk to our support team, and our support team is very quick. So don't be surprised if you get a response probably within like 30 minutes to an hour. So they're very good.
And it looks like we missed a question as well from Dale asking about Google integration, and Andrew posted the answer in the chat. And is that Google integration, Google Classroom integration is coming, but we do not have a time frame on that as of yet.
Do we have any other questions?
Or any content that you'd like to see again or more up close?
Allie can continue walking through, the blood cells unit, or maybe if there's some people who are not familiar with courseware, maybe you could pull up courseware and show how they can create an assignment.
Yeah, absolutely. So
actually, Dale would like to see what's in the library. Yeah, Dale, do you mean the library of content that we have? Because that'll bring us into courseware to so yeah, I guess Allie, he wants to see the suite of oh, and the tab on top.
Okay.
Oh, my library. Sorry.
Okay. So my library is where you can store custom 3D views. So I can actually show you how to create one of these. And basically we can annotate with arrows. We can annotate with detailed notes with structure tags. So let's go into our unit and let's choose maybe the animal cell for now. So starting with one of our 3D models, we can add some structure tags first. So I'm going to highlight a few key structures. I'm going to add a structure tag here. And as the instructor, you can choose to have the tags be filled in or blank if you're presenting them in class. I'm going to add a few more structure tags here. We'll do smooth ER, rough ER, and maybe our Golgi complex. And with the structure tags, you'll see they rotate in real 3D time with the model. The other thing that's very cool is that our 3D draw tool also rotates in real time with the model. So here I'm selecting a plane of where I want my 3D arrow to go. So I want it to go right about where the Golgi complex is. And I'm going to click Start Drawing. And from here, I can add my arrow to the Golgi complex. I can highlight maybe the undo, we'll do. We can add some structure tags. We can add detailed notes over here. So this is basically the process of creating something to put into your personal library. And one thing that's cool is while we're here, we aren't able to rotate the model. But if we click on this move tool over here, I can come in and we can move the model. So you'll see my plane here with this Golgi complex. That worked exactly like I wanted it to. I'd need to go back and just adjust the plane on this circle here. So when I'm ready to save my view, down in the bottom right, we can give our saved view a name, animal cell, and save. That's going to go automatically to my library. So I click on the menu and then come and visit my library. And there is the animal cell view that I was just editing. And if this is a helpful study tool to send to my students, I can do the same type of sharing where I choose share in the bottom right, get the share link, and then you can post this for your students to study from. You can say, hey students, I have 10 relevant structures in this model, or 5, however many. Add your notes and then share this link with your students for them to save this exact 3D model to their account. And when you're ready to string the views together into a tour, you can come to the tour area here and click Start. And you can choose, you'll see I only have 3 favorited views here, but I can choose number 1, number 2, and number 3. If I'm, let's say, comparing and contrasting, we can click Save, and this will become a tour, a 3-part tour that I can share with students, I can use in lecture, etc. So under tours, you'll see here's my tour. And it's going to basically walk me through my saved favorites. So you'll see 1 of 3. Here's number 1, and I can click on the arrow to take me to number 2. And the arrow again will take me to number 3. That is a quick overview of, annotating views, drawing on views, and saving them. Does that kind of cover the library, Dale? Is there anything in more detail you'd like to see? Let's see, I'm going to check the chat.
No, he said it was helpful.
Thanks, Dale. Tina asked if there is a way to copy videos into the slideshow. My recommendation would be to actually have the Visible Body program up in the background and to visit Visible Body when you're ready to play your animations. Alternatively, I know many instructors that use the tour function and use the slides in our anatomy and physiology app as pre-built lecture slides, if you will. They're in modules arranged by body system and very interactive with the 3D elements and the animations. And Andrew said mobile devices, and yeah, so when you're saving a view, I believe this is in relation to our user accounts. When you're saving a 3D view, it's going to save to a user account. And this user account will allow you to access this 3D view across different platforms. So I can log in on any computer and access my 3D views. Whenever there is a mobile app for biology made, the user account will allow you to access the saved view there. With Atlas, for example, your saved views right now, you can access across computer, across iPhone, across Android, either by sharing with your colleagues or logging into your own user account.
And you can also share flashcards across platforms as well. And Tina was wondering if you could explain how to access videos again.
The videos in biology, let's see. So the different types of learning assets are built into the unit rows. You can tell it's a full screen icon here when it is an animation. So we can view mitosis as an example.
The human body develops, replaces old cells with new cells, and repairs itself with the help of cells that constantly multiply by dividing. The process begins in the cell nucleus. Identical copies of DNA molecules organize into chromatid pairs within the
We'll pause that. And I think I realized Tina might be referring to, like, in class pulling them up. And my recommendation for that would just be to open up your Visible Body app, either through courseware or through a site license, and have that tab open while you're lecturing and just pick out which assets you would like to show. They are organized by topic, so you'll be able to easily find the animations relevant to genetics, the animations relevant to blood cells, etc., while you're in lecture.
We also have a question from Jacob regarding courseware accounts and scheduled assignments. Can students complete assignments by logging into courseware via their browser of choice?
The answer to that is yes. So students can absolutely log in via their browser of choice. We typically recommend an updated Chrome browser, but if it works on Firefox or Safari for them, which it does for many and most users, they absolutely can log in on their browser of choice and complete their assignments. Students can do their studying from the mobile app as well, and that does not require any Wi-Fi. The quizzes, they need to be on a computer in their web browser. So there definitely is some flexibility as far as where students can do their studying and complete their coursework with the quizzes being done on a web browser.
And follow up to that question from Jacob, can this be done on an iPad as well?
With the other apps that Visible Body has, and I'll show you the My Apps page so you can get kind of a bird's eye view of our apps. So Visible Biology, this is our first version of it. Right now, we just have it on web. With the other apps that we have, you absolutely can present from an iPad, you can study from an iPad, you can do 3D dissections from an iPad or an Android tablet, and it is a fantastic user experience being able to, zoom in the 3D models using your hands. So with our other apps, yes, absolutely on an iPad. With biology, not yet.
We have a follow-up question from Tina about videos. Can the videos be put in order, kind of like, our tours functionality?
So our goal is for the videos to be in a sequence that is helpful to you as instructors. So right now there isn't a way to rearrange them in the app itself. We hope that this is a helpful sequence. However, once the biology content is in courseware, you can assign, maybe video number 4 ahead of video number 1, should you choose to. So courseware is really where the ability to customize comes in. And until that's ready, we do absolutely hope that these videos are in a sequence that is, number 1, easy to find, and number 2, makes sense with the content that you're teaching in your course.
Allie, maybe we could pull up courseware and show how you can bring those videos into assignments and assign them.
Absolutely. So in Visible Body courseware, we have, of course, many pre-built courses. And in the pre-built courses, we have arranged our 3D content into folders that make it easy for you to get up and running with our content. So here we've got a few different types of assignments. In particular, we're looking here at our automatically graded lab course. And let's say in one of our pre-built courses, I want to customize and add some content in. To do that, anytime you want to roll content out to students, you can click on this Create New Assignment button. When you click Create New Assignment, you have the option to choose where the content will come from. You can choose anatomy and physiology. If you're looking for some animations, there are animations in all of them, but we'll stick with A and P for now. And one thing to note also is that you can bring in outside content. If you have videos that you made, you can absolutely bring them in to an assignment in courseware. So if we're choosing anatomy and physiology, the next page is going to bring up all of the learning assets that are present in anatomy and physiology. And from here, I can either search. We've got the search function everywhere. It's very helpful. Alternatively, I can browse the folders for content that I want to assign. So we can see here are some animations here. I can choose maybe 2.15, 2.16. Let's say maybe we'll skip this. This is where the customization comes in, is you don't have to assign all of them. You can absolutely pick and choose. And once you select the content that you want your students to see, you can click continue and then give your assignment a name, cell function, give your assignment a due date, and choose a folder for your assignment. I don't think I actually have a cells folder in this course. So we'll create new and we'll do cell function. And we can save it as a draft, or if we're ready to roll it out to students, you can publish it. So this is what the assignment will look like for students after you've picked and choose which content you want them to see. They'll see their different animations here, what type of asset it is, and they'll always see where the content is coming from. And this is helpful as an instructor as well, to just know kind of where you're pulling content from. And as students are clicking on each one of these, they will be able to work their way through the assignment in the assigned app. And it's very easy to customize as well. So we have, of course, pre-built assignments. If we are looking at circulation, for example, and we have this 3D view assigned, but I want to maybe beef it up a little bit. There are 2 levels of edit. So the first edit is going to be your assignment details. What's it called? When's it due? Where's the folder? The second edit is going to be the actual assignment content. So when I click on edit assignment content, this is where I can choose the 3D model, the animation, the histology slide that I want my students to see. So I can see here, this is what is already selected, but maybe I also want my students to watch this animation that is the circulatory system overview. Once I've added to my assignment, again, you just continue and it will change the existing assignment. So it's very easy to, take one of our pre-built courses and customize as you go to the degree that you wish. All of the pre-built courses are designed to, be used as is as well. But if you do feel like getting hands-on and really customizing your course, you have all of the capabilities to do so. And in just a few steps. Anyone have any questions on assignment creation or some of the courseware functions in general? I can show some quizzing now if we'd like.
Yeah, and I just wanted everybody to be cognizant of the time. We have 4 minutes left. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in now while Allie can pull up some quizzes. Or if you have questions after this is done, you can contact us and we will put you in touch with your rep, who will be able to answer any questions and do an even deeper dive into courseware and our products with you, just one-on-one.
Okay, so in the quiz bank is where you will find all of the quizzes that we have authored that you can use as is and customize. So you can use filters to narrow your search. We have 3 types of quizzes: multiple choice and short answer, and dissection. So I'll show you some dissection quizzes and how to customize them. So let's say we're still focusing on cells and tissue, and we want to look at this cellular organelle activity here. So it has 6 questions. If I like one of these quizzes, but I want to add more or change or maybe take a question out, very easily, you can click this clone button. And when you clone a quiz question, it saves it as a copy for now that you are able to edit. So I'm just sticking my initials in here so we can point it out easily. And once I save it as a copy, it now becomes mine to edit. I can click edit and change the details of my quiz, categorization, name, etc. And down below, I can change the configuration and the content. So I can add more questions here and it will take me to some filters where I can then, filter down into cells and tissue and subtopic, maybe cell structure and function, and I can pick and choose which quiz questions I want to add to my quiz. I'm just choosing an author here. I can also deliberately arrange my quiz questions if we wanted to make a sequential quiz. And then the pool feature is very cool as well. If you want to add in, maybe 20 questions and give students a random 10 out of 20, in this case, 3 out of 6, if you will. So that is how to customize an existing quiz. I'll check the chat. Let's see. And if we have time, I can show how to, let's see. Are we good on the chat? Yes? Okay, perfect. So I guess our last stop will be creating a quiz question. In the question bank, of course, you can view all of the pre-built questions that are in their solo form, I guess. And you can kind of mix and match and put them into quizzes how you like. There are 3,800 quizzes in the questions in the question bank that you can mix and match. And if you want to ask a question that we have not yet asked, you can click create new question. And let's go with dissection. Multiple choice and short answer are pretty easy, but we'll show you dissection because that one's cool. So we can enter a prompt here. So let's do select the hepatic duct. So I'm giving my question a prompt, and then we choose a 3D view. So remember when we were looking at the plant cell and we had to dissect the plant cell to find the ribosomes? It's the same thing with anatomy. So I can choose to filter by topic, or I can search. I recommend searching. It moves very quickly and gives you your options. I'm going to choose maybe this view here, partially dissected view, and we can click continue. So that view that was just previewed there, that's what my students will see when they're going to take their quiz and find the right answer. And the second to last step is just to tell the system what the right answer is. So again, I'm going to search for sake of ease, and we can select the right answers here. So these are all going to be acceptable answers. If you want to get really specific, which is cool about courseware, is you have the ability to say, change your prompt and say, select only the common hepatic duct. So lots of flexibility there as to, what is acceptable as a right answer. And the last step is just to put some categories on your quiz question so that you can find it easily later to add it into your quiz. All right, I see some chat messages coming in. Let's see. I think we're good, right?
Yeah, we are good.
Okay, I think we're
That was
good
mostly us just saying bye to people who were hopping off. So, okay, yes. So we are a couple of minutes over. Thank you so much for sticking with us if you're still here.